Have you ever really looked at the money in your pocket? Every banknote you're holding, every digital balance you see on a screen, is actually someone else's debt. This isn't a metaphor. This is exactly how the system works. If you're holding money, it means someone somewhere is in debt. A mortgage, government debt, corporate loans, they're all links in the same chain. But almost no one stops to ask, why does it have to be this way? Why does money mean debt? What if it didn't? History actually tells us that it is possible. But first, we need to truly understand how today's system works. Because it doesn't work the way most people think it does. Take banks, for example. The story we're all told is simple. Banks collect money from savers and lend it to borrowers. Sounds logical, right? But that's not the truth. In reality, banks create new money the moment they issue a loan. Say you take out a $100,000 loan to buy a house. The bank doesn't take that money from another customer's account. It presses a few keys on a computer, and that money comes into existence out of nowhere. Money that didn't exist yesterday suddenly exists today. With one condition, you have to pay it back, and with interest. Multiply this by millions of loans, and you'll see where most money comes from. The majority of money in circulation is born as debt. Governments are no different. When tax revenues aren't enough, they borrow. They issue bonds. In other words, they say, take this now, and we'll pay you back later, with interest. That money enters the economy today, but the bill is pushed into the future, often onto our children. Here's the critical part. This system only survives if debt keeps growing. If people stop borrowing, the money supply shrinks. If governments stop borrowing, the system freezes. That's why central banks panic when lending slows, cut interest rates, and push people to borrow more. The system is addicted to debt, like it's constantly gasping for air and needs more borrowing just to keep breathing. We all feel the consequences. There's inflation because money keeps expanding. There's inequality because those who earn interest win, and those who pay it lose. And real freedom is hard to achieve because money itself is already an obligation. Even if you pay off all your personal debts, the money you hold is still tied to someone else's debt. But here's the interesting part. This system isn't natural. It doesn't have to be this way. Thousands of years ago in Mesopotamia, kings canceled debts. They understood something simple. If debts last forever, society collapses. This wasn't kindness, it was intelligence. Medieval England traded for centuries using wooden tally sticks. No interest, no traps, and yet the system worked. During the American Civil War, the government issued debt-free money. For a while, it worked just fine, until bankers stepped in and said, but we're not earning interest from this. So debt-based money isn't destiny, it's a choice. Even today, there are other examples. In Switzerland, businesses trade with each other using interest-free credit. Local currencies keep money circulating within communities. Bitcoin proved that debt-free money is technically possible. None of these systems are perfect, but they all prove one thing. There are other ways. So why are we still stuck with this system? Because debt-based money is extremely profitable for those at the top. Banks earn interest. Governments get to spend without raising taxes. Ordinary people pay the price. Today, the world is buried under a level of debt never seen before in history. Inflation eats away at wages. Every crisis is solved with more debt. And no one stops to ask, what if the solution is actually the problem? But there is hope. Because history shows us something else. Every system that ties money too tightly to debt eventually collapses, under its own weight. The survivors are the ones who remember that money is not a law of nature. It's a design. Money doesn't have to mean debt. It can mean trust. It can mean sharing. It can mean freedom, but only if we imagine it and demand it. If this gave you a new perspective, hit subscribe. History has the answers, and I'll show you where to find them.